Thank you. In the spirit of McKinley Orthopedics and BioLocate, let's all just stand up and kind of feel your spine relax a little bit and kind of get yourself loosened up a little bit. We've been sitting for a long time listening to people talk. So while you're doing that, I'll give you a little bit of background of why I'm with DirectSync Surgical, and feel free to sit down or stand up whenever you want. But ultimately, my background, my dad had a car accident back in early 90s, and he's had 3 subsequent fusion surgeries, 2 of which failed, and he's still in back pain. So he's had a lot of failures with those spinal surgery, and he's ultimately, the last one took using Infuse, so there's a place for biologics, but certainly still in pain. And so we've got to do better. And with that, there we go. Oops. Thank you. All right, so today we've got, what you heard earlier was that with Infuse, you had a very high success rate with patients who heal really well. And so what we're trying to do is deal with those patients who have diabetes, who are morbidly obese, who don't heal as well, who've got diabetes, and we're trying to help enhance their healing. And so what we see here is a pictograph of what the traditional single-level fusion surgery is. You've got an interbody device where you place, that's placed after you evacuate the disc. You also have the rods and screws that are posterior located to immobilize those vertebral bodies above and below the interbody. And so ultimately, what you also have is not very visible, is packing of allograft or those biologics inside that interbody or inside that disc space. So what we're doing at DirectSync Surgical is we're taking electrical stimulation and placing it inside that interbody device. And as the patient walks around, compression and relaxation generates a charge that we're able to harvest and turn around and stimulate the bones above and below that disc. So what we're looking for is, over time, that electrical stimulation has demonstrated in our comparative animal studies to help grow bone. And we'd also are in the process of adding diagnostics to this device. Ultimately, we've fully integrated it into a form factor that spinal surgeons use today, so there's no change to their approach to doing spine surgery. We're going to be collecting that data, so there's an opportunity for big data opportunities. So we got to collect that data first, so we're laying the track right now to be able to be in a position to digitize what we're doing with these patients over time. All that microcircuitry is contained within the device, and ultimately you get a sense for the form factor size. So what we're looking for, and why do we care about this? So from a business perspective, TL interbodies make up about 343,000 procedures a year, and about 188,000 of those are TLIF, which is the first form factor that we're going to go into. Our product can go across the entire platform, all the interbody fusion products. And so we're starting with TLIF, but we're going to expand into these other approaches as well. And this translates into it's a $1.45 billion market. It's growing. The TLIF market is a $750 million market. It's growing. We've got a good opportunity to capitalize on what we're doing in stabilization by integrating both that electrical stimulation market into that stabilization market. So what you see up here is today, patients might have to wear this external brace in order to get some sort of therapeutic benefit from their electrical stimulation. Or in the case where they're not using an interbody device, they might actually have a product implanted like a pacemaker, where those leads are placed and then left in and around the vertebral bodies to promote bone growth. And so what you end up with there with is resident content that's never extracted. You have to have a second surgery after placement of that pacemaker-like device to remove that battery when it's depleted 6 months later. So we've got a self-contained solution that takes the best of both worlds into one product, and there's still a place for biologics. We think that with our product plus biologics, we actually have an opportunity to expand the market, expand the number of patients who can be treated. And so wanted to underline that fact. And with the recent integrations going on, the top 5, maybe the top 4 now achieve the top 75% market share for both biologics as well as the hardware. So this slide is intended to give you a sense for the left third is kind of the intellectual development side, got our IP established. The middle third is about getting just the stimulation circuit miniaturized and working. And the far right is feedback from FDA showing that we need to do a PMA to get this product approved with just electrical stimulation. And the decision was made to add diagnostics to that so that we've got a pretty compelling, I think, argument for the recent breakthrough designation that we submitted that we're currently in the first 60 days of. and looking forward to leveraging the current SBIR grant that we have, $250,000 phase one grant to integrate that sensor functionality with the stimulation circuit that we have already developed. So there's some, 2014, we did a proof of concept study. 2021, we ended up using 8 more animals with that integrated fully form factor design. We randomized placement superior, inferior on the sheep that we used. And what you see on the right, farthest right, is good trabeculation. You've got great bone growth through that fusion site, whereas in the control on the left, that histology shows that gap that's still formed at 4 months. So we're getting some good evidence. Look forward to talking to anybody who's got questions around what that looks like. From that latest animal study, it gave us a couple different insights. So what you see here is the distribution of loads that the human normally sees, as well as what the sheep would normally see. And so with our Gen 1 product line, we had most humans in terms of the loads that they see. With our Gen 2 product line, we're gonna get all humans and most sheep loads. So we expect to have even better outcomes. As well as when it comes time to commercialize, we're hitting all humans and all the loads that they would expect. So even slight patients would benefit from this product. In short, we've got a good group, a lot of experience in the medical device as well as orthopedic spine space. Myself, engineer, biomed, Hopkins, MBA, Loyola University, 20 plus years at Medtronic and Boston Sci, working in Infuse with medical affairs, as well as the clinical evidence generation dissemination for our pacemaker defibrillator product line for a majority of those years at Medtronic. Leighton LaPierre, the previous CEO, is our COO, and he comes with some startup experience, as well as good marketing and product development background. And then the original founders, Chief Technology Officer Lisa Fries, is the Department Chair of Mechanical Engineering at the University of Kansas. And Dr. Paul Arnold is the Chief Medical Officer and is currently out of the University of Illinois working as a neurosurgeon there. And so we've got advisors, people who've written letters of support, and are currently in the process of getting ready for this current funding round. So we're raising $3 million, and we're looking to use a convertible note, 0% interest, $15 million cap, discounted offer for the first $2 million. We've got $500,000 so far in soft commitments, looking for lead investors and follow-on investors who are interested. So interested also in discussing how we get there. Maybe a convertible note isn't your thing. Let's talk. Ultimately, the milestones are to get us through the next 2 years, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions people might have. So in summary, great company, good team, great product, looking to bring diagnostics and granularity to the follow-up that these patients have with the diagnostics that we'll offer. So trending fusion over time gives doctors not the 3-month visit or the 6-month visit. You get it in between and every week if the design holds true to what we plan. So feel free to reach out, call me. I'm here all week. Look forward to talking to anybody who wants to go deeper. Appreciate the time.